UTPA women's basketball assures itself of its first winning season in 32 years in dramatic fashion. We have full coverage. Not to be outdone, UTPA men's basketball turns to its lone senior on senior day to complete a stunning comeback. And with the WAC Indoor Championships complete, we preview the outdoor track and field season. This is Bronc Country. Hey everyone, and welcome to Bronc Country. I'm Jonah Goldberg. The University of Texas Pan American women's basketball team has been making history throughout this, their winningest season in program history, and they kept it up in the regular season finale. Broncs visiting Kansas City. Broncs trailed by 13 with 15 minutes left. Now it's an 11-point game. Make it 9. Sherelle Price lays it in. A minute later, make it 6. Three-pointer for Shazay Wright. After a ruse miss, they get an offensive rebound, but a steal by Stephanie Onyeje leads to this. The Broncs are within 4. Minute and a half later, 3-point game, make that a tie game. 3 points for Onyeje, 48-48. Next time down the court, from one freshman to another, Troy Swain gives the Broncs the lead. Much more from her coming up right now. Seconds left. Broncs down 2, but Swain ties the game. 2.2 seconds on the clock. On to overtime, and the price is right. Broncs up 69-67. Now the Broncs are down 2 when Goff hits layups not once, but twice. 74-72 Broncs. Roos tie it up, so we go to a second overtime, and Goff unloads. Broncs by 3. Less than a minute left. Broncs down 1. But look at Goff. Broncs up 1. Clock running down. Broncs down 1 again when Swain puts it in. Just 0.4 of a second left. The Broncs complete the sweep of the Roos, 84-82 in double overtime. All 3 of Swain's buckets were huge as she tied it once and twice gave the Broncs the lead. Goff really turned it on late, finishing with 18, while Tanisha Walker and Brittany Bush also reached double figures. With the win, the Broncs are now 17-13 and assured of their first winning season at the NCAA Division I level, and first since 1982-83 when the Broncs went 10-5 at the NAIA Division II level.
Well, you know, we went up to Missouri, Kansas City and had an excellent game. We came away with an 84-82 win in double overtime, and creates a little momentum going into the WAC tournament this week in Las Vegas. And just had some key players make big plays to put it into overtime, to take it to the second overtime. And then in all my years of coaching, I've never hit a winning shot like Troy Swain did with 1/10 of a second left on the clock.
Well, the final weekend didn't have a huge effect on the standings. Matchups were already set. Now the fun begins. The WAC tournament runs Wednesday through Saturday at Orleans Arena in Las Vegas. Third-seeded Broncs have an immediate rematch with sixth-seeded Kansas City in the quarterfinals Wednesday. The winner takes on either second-seeded Bakersfield or seventh-seeded Chicago State Friday before heading to the championship Saturday. To preview the road ahead, here's Anais Cortez.
The UTPA women's basketball team have broken a lot of records, but for the Broncs, that is not enough. With a strong season in progress, the Broncs prepare for the WAC tournament.
Yeah, we definitely have a goal of bringing back the banner, and we're not going to stop until we get it. We're hungry, we're wanting it, we're ready for it. So, everybody is just playing their role and doing what they need to do to help the team out.
The 7-team WAC tournament runs from March 11th to the 14th, with the winner representing the Western Athletic Conference at the NCAA tournament.
We've had the same mindset all year long, that our goal was to have a winning season, to get to the postseason. So we're still just continuing. We've reached one of those goals, but we're not quite where we're not conference champions, but we can be tournament champions. So we're still just working towards the goal and trying to get things done. Not much has really changed.
Getting to the tournament with the realistic goal of winning is something the Broncs have been working hard towards. And here, on this court, they continue to work to make sure those wins keep coming.
We just come and practice, work hard every day. We get up and down the floor, a lot of defense drills, a lot of offense drills. And, we focus on other teams, but we focus on ourselves more because we know that, if we don't come out shooting well, then it's going to be a hard game. So we try to focus on us more than the other team.
We are able to change this program around. It's something that Larry Tidwell has stuck to since day one, since coming here. He's been talking about changing the program around, and slowly but surely we're doing that and taking it one game at a time. Like, we're able to accomplish that.
The UTPA women's basketball team is one to look out for. Going into the tournament in the third seed, they are looking to take care of business.
We're just not underestimating any team. Like, everybody's working on their individual stuff, but it just goes back to coming back and playing together and sticking it out together. I mean, we're just preparing extremely for each and every team. We're not going to take any opponent lightly or underestimate them. We're going to treat them as how we want them to treat us.
The players will be bringing skill, determination, and Bronc pride to the WAC tournament. Reporting for Bronc Country, I am Anais Cortez.
The UTPA men's basketball team is also getting ready for the WAC tournament. Coming up on Bronc Country, we take a look at their final two games and then look ahead to WAC Vegas.
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
The University of Texas Pan American men's basketball team was one of only two teams in the WAC to play two games in the final week due to a weather-related postponement the previous weekend. The other? The Broncs' first opponent, New Mexico State. Pick it up in the opening minutes. Broncs trying to establish an inside presence, so they feed Dan Kamasa. Then Shaq Hines hits the jumper, followed by another Kamasa layup. Now check out this move by Shaquille Boga. The length of the court and the finish. Then we're back to Hines. And we're back to Boga. Broncs within 15-12 after 9 minutes. Now, the Aggies pushed their lead out to 13 late in the half, but the Broncs not going away. Good in the foul for Janari Josar. He hits the free throw. Broncs within 10 going into the locker room. Early second half, Everett Osborne makes it an 8-point game. Minute and a half later, Broncs down 9. When Josar connects, it's 37-30. Now it's a 10-point game, but Josar buries the three. Broncs again within 7. 9 minutes left. Aggies up 10 again. Make it 7 again. Osborne hits the three. A couple of minutes later, he does it again. Broncs within 54-46, but the Aggies close the game on a 15-2 run to beat the Broncs 69-48. Huge game for Osborne, career-high 3 triples, en route to leading the Broncs in scoring for the first time with 13 points. Nice game for Boga as well. 10 points with 4 assists and 2 steals. No turnovers either.
I think defense. We definitely didn't hit shots the way we wanted to today, but I think if we stopped them from making their shots, their easy baskets under the hoop, like layups, we could have figured out an easier way to score. But I think us giving up easy points under the basket and then little kickouts, 3 points, was crucial for us.
Well, with them, it's just a constant battle to get a rebound, to protect the rim, to fight them off the block, and we kept hanging. But 4 for 19 isn't going to get it done. It's too hard to shoot too many layups against them. And JJ had an off night shooting it. They were really coming after him hard, and then finally he started shot faking and going by a little bit and making some plays. But I thought Boga had 5 really good looks for him, and he didn't get him in, but I give Boga credit. He played a hell of a floor game.
After that game, the Broncs got back to their regular schedule with just one home game left, not only in the season, but in the career of senior point guard Shaq Boga. Romeo Villarreal has the story.
Senior Day is a student athlete's final home game before their college career comes to an end. It's a very important moment in a student athlete's life where they can reflect on all the hard work and effort they had to put in to get where they are.
Well, I think Senior Day is always an inspirational day for any kid. Brings back a lot of memories, brings back a lot of what the journey's all about. You know, it's not necessarily, I remember this game or that game, but just that grind of conditioning and workouts and the fellowship of his teammates and players, and hopefully our kids will play with that kind of inspiration Saturday for Shaq, because he's put 2 good years, hard-working years in here.
This year's senior class consists of honoring lone senior Shaq Boga, who's prideful of the journey he had to take to get to his senior day.
It's happy, excitement, nothing really. I mean, I gave it everything I could do. I mean, no regrets. So it's like, that time, you know that time gonna come, you know what I'm saying? High school, I finished junior college. You know what I'm saying? Just looking forward towards the next step, finishing strong.
His path to UTPA wasn't easy at times, but when he finally got here, he fit in quickly as he got to know the members of the family that is UTPA men's basketball.
It was interesting, man. First and foremost, a lot of people didn't think I would be able to make the grades to get back to Division I. So I had a hard time. I had to finish summer school up, and I finished real late. So I actually got here on the first day of school. So I was new to everybody. I think I met Elijah, first met him in the veranda. So me and him got real cool. Then met Coach Hipp. Coach Hipp was great, man. He been a great guy. He really just showed me a lot on and off the court, how he take his job so serious, knowing where he is in life, how successful he is. He still, you know what I'm saying, takes every day like he trying to compete to be the best coach. So that's really why I compete every day.
First meeting was when he came to campus to play. You know, we'd only talked to him on the phone. He came here without a visit, and you know, he had an opportunity to play, and he knew it. And again, always conscientious, always working hard, always spirited, and a fun kid.
Senior athletes aren't the only ones who reflect on Senior Day. Coach Hipsher was also nostalgic about his 2 years of coaching Shaq.
Shaq's an upbeat kind of kid. You know, he always comes to practice ready to work. He comes to communicate, talk with the other kids. He's a fun-loving kid, and really been a pleasure to coach. And I can't say I haven't been up his tail a few times about decision-making and things, but one thing I know, every game Shaq's there, he's trying to bring it.
That upbeat personality and willingness to compete have been with Shaq all his life.
No, I always been like that since I was younger. It's just, I'm a competitive guy, so it's like I compete on and off the court. You know, I compete in the classroom, I compete dressing, I compete for the ladies. I mean, it's just a natural thing, to be honest, man. I like to compete. That's why I like basketball. It's just the competitiveness part about it, man. Every day practice is just a fight.
With his great work ethic and positive attitude, there's little doubt Shaq will go far in life after college. For Bronc Country, this is Romeo Villarreal.
The final home game arrived Saturday against Kansas City. Boga was honored before the game and presented with a token of appreciation. And then, with 2,308 fans in attendance, the Bronx' largest crowd in 7 years, Boga delivered a few gifts of his own. Maybe a little anxious early on, missed his first 4 shots, but number 5 goes in. About 6 minutes left in the half. Bronx down 3 when Boga makes it a 1-point game. Boga had 10 at the half. Second half, Boga keeping it close. This layup brings the Bronx within 34-32. And this one brings them within 40-38. Just under 9 minutes left. Boga steps up and buries the 3. Bronx lead 41-40. About 5 minutes to go. Boga knocks down the jumper, brings the Broncs within 45-43. Now the Broncs face their largest deficit, 7-point game with 2.5 minutes left, and Boga says, no problem. 5-point game. Now it's a 3-point game with just over a minute left. Osborne the miss, but look at the rebound by Elijah Watson. Finds Boga, tie game. Just over 30 seconds left. Deshaun Taylor with the miss. Look who has the rebound. So we skip ahead to the final seconds, and the crowd will tell you the rest. The Broncs close the game on a 9-0 run to come away with a 53-51 win. Boga 7 of those final 9 points, part of his game-high 26. No better way to go out for the senior on senior day.
I knew it was going to be over with after that, man. We got the ball back, tied up, game on the line, senior night, it was over with.
I seen Boga had a one-on-one, and that's a play we go all over in practice, and Boga always making the shot, so I definitely had confidence that he was going to make the shot.
I feel so happy for Shaq. He came here in August of 2 years ago, and he's fought through a lot of tough stuff, and he works and he tries, and he was trying so hard early. He had like 6, 7 wide open looks and just could not get one in, and was trying to aim it a little, and then, boy, right at the end when he needed to, he hit a big one, and I just put the ball in his hands at the end and said, hey, go get one, and he did. And that's a pretty good win for us with him strapping it on his back.
Unlike with the women, the final weekend had massive implications on the men's basketball bracket, with almost anything seemingly possible on the final day. Well, here's how it all shook out. The Broncs end up with the 7th seed, and like the women, an immediate rematch with Kansas City, in this case the 2nd seed. That's Thursday in the quarterfinals. The winner will then face either 3rd-seeded Seattle or 6th-seeded Chicago State on Friday, with the championship game set for Saturday. Vanessa Mares has the tournament preview.
The Texas Pan Americans men's basketball team is all in for this year's WAC Conference tournament set in Las Vegas.
Well, our outlook is to win, and the survive and advance thing.
Now, while the Broncs didn't have a record-setting season, that record doesn't matter anymore.
The season hasn't went how we wanted it to go, but the tournament is like a new beginning, because records don't matter, stats don't matter. We just got to find a way to get a win and keep winning to win the championship.
A blank record means renewed practice, renewed tactics, and a renewed dedication to winning.
What you try to do in any game is play to your individual and team strengths. So, we try to find ways to play to Boga and Janari a lot, and Dan Kamasa and Shaq Hines. Those 4 guys have been our dominant players and scorers. So we try to play through them as much as possible, mostly, of course, through Janari first, because statistically he's been a pretty dominant factor for us on the offensive end.
Junior Everett Osborne finished the regular season strong and hopes that carries over into tournament play.
To be an impact player, impact the team any way possible that I can, whether they need me to score, defend, come off the bench, whatever it is, just help this team get a W.
Every player in college basketball wants what the Broncs have: a chance to punch their ticket to the big dance. For Bronc Country, I'm Vanessa Mattis.
UTPA track and field has spent a lot of time indoors recently. Now they're ready to step outside and let loose. Next on Bronc Country, we preview the outdoor track and field season. When the WAC Indoor Championships were over, the Broncs had planned to fly home. But with the weather north of here causing flight disruptions, the Broncs did what they had to do: get on a bus and drive 18 hours back home. Luckily, the Broncs had a good 2 weeks until their first outdoor event. Brenda Marquez has a season preview.
As the UTPA track and field team transitions from indoor to outdoor season, they are preparing to bring back the championship with them. Head coach Xavier Richardson has been training the team for this year's outdoor season.
We have a lot more opportunities to compete. We have a lot more races to run and so on. So it's just really back to work, back to kind of review the basics of what we need to do, and then just pushing on.
Geneva Anderson and Mark Gonzalez are two of this year's athletes to look out for.
Geneva's same, has been training very hard. This is her junior season, so she has high expectations for herself, and we do as well.
As a team, we're preparing, coming to practice, executing, doing what we have to do, staying hydrated, coming to the workouts, prepared for the hard things and the easy things.
This is Mars' only second year, sophomore season, so he's building on last year's. He joined us in the spring, so he's doing quite well. He's already off to a great start with just a few meets under.
You come out here and you work hard and prepare yourself mentally for what lies ahead.
The indoor track is a smaller, typically 200 meters oval, as opposed to the 400-meter outdoor track.
It's been preparation since day one, moving through indoor, preparing for outdoor. It's a long season, so we've been preparing this whole time.
UTPA men and women's track and field are excited to begin this year's outdoor season at the Islander Splash in Corpus Christi. For Bronc Country, I am Brenda Marquez.
Women's soccer recently unveiled its 10-player recruiting class. The first 8 on your screen will come to campus in August, while the last 2 are already here. Of the 10, the Broncs brought in 4 forwards, 4 midfielders, and 2 defenders. You can read more about each of these student athletes at UTPABroncs.com. It's the second recruiting class for Broncs head coach Glad Bagariu, and he couldn't be more excited. Want to help prepare our student athletes for excellence in life? Then join the Bronc Athletic Fund today. You can become a member of the BAF for just $50 a year. All of the proceeds go directly to student athlete scholarships, so visit BroncAthleticFund.com today to see how you can make a meaningful impact on the lives of student athletes. One way you can donate to the Bronc Athletic Fund is by participating in our 9th annual Bay Fishing Tournament, better known as BAIT, on South Padre Island on April 11th. You can be one of 3 teams to win over $5,000 in cash prizes, including a $2,500 grand prize. You could also win a boat valued at more than $30,000 in the raffle. Visit UTPABroncs.com/BAIT for more information.
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.
Here's what's coming up for the Broncs. The WAC tournament is in full swing as the UTPA men's and women's basketball teams look to punch their tickets to the NCAA tournament. Baseball's back home for a 3-game series against Arlington Baptist before visiting top-ranked TCU. Track and field opens up the outdoor season at Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and women's tennis is off to San Antonio to face Missouri State and UTSA. We want to thank you for stamping your passport in Bronc Country this week. Schedule another visit for next week. But until then,
1, 2, 3, go Broncs!
We will work our minds, raise our hands, and search for the answers. We will study the stars, learn to speak each other's languages, and hear each other's songs. We will make each tomorrow brighter, more prosperous, and completely new. We cannot predict the future, but we can and will build it. We will come together. The University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. New opportunities for the 21st century.